Alrighty, so you're ready to dive into the land investment game and you're wondering what contracts do you actually need to stay legal, keep everything on the up and up, and become successful in this game. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through my 2 cents on the contracts you need to get down and dirty in this business, but just know at any time, all the resources you need to go ahead and expand upon your land investment business, whether that's wholesale land deals or jumping on consulting calls with me, can be found directly below this video in the description area, so be sure to check that out right after this video. But let's dive into the contracts necessary to purchase land and the paperwork for that matter. So first things first, if you want to acquire properties and then resell for a profit, you either need to have ownership of the property or control the property. So you're gonna need a deed to the property. This is the ownership part. So you go out and you purchase a property from a seller, you now have the deed, you have the right to resell this property, but you don't necessarily need the deed to go ahead and flip a property. You could also use option contracts, you could use a purchase agreement with an assignable contract attached to it, or you could do a lease option with the right to sublease the property. I know we're getting all over the place here. Stick with me. I'm going to keep it simple for you here. Let's focus on the deed in the beginning because I'm all about doing cheap properties. So you go out to a seller or a wholesaler and you purchase a property directly from them and they give you the deed to the property. This is your first piece of paper here. You're going to need this to go ahead and resell the property. I will do other videos breaking down the intricate parts of flipping contracts and things like that. But first things first, you bought a property, you have the deed. That's your first piece of paperwork. Next, in the land investment world, seller financing is massive. Far more important than flipping properties because there's a bigger buyer pool. Now, flipping is fantastic because you get lump sums of cash, but the reality is if you're willing to carry paper and finance the deal for your next buyer, your buyer pool explodes. You have access to thousands of people versus hundreds of people that'll buy your properties from you. So you're gonna need a seller financing contract. Now, I will drop a link to another video where I shared exactly how I got my seller financing contract that I use on all my deals. And if you need one, if you invest in coaching calls and things like that, we supply all that for you as well. But anyway, you're gonna need a seller financing contract. Here's how this works. You have the deed to the property, you're gonna list it online. Now, all these hungry buyers are going to come out because you just listed a property for $100 down, $50 a month for 36 months, and that is very appealing, and lots of buyers want to go ahead and take you up on that. So the next step is they will go ahead and send you a deposit. Do not do anything till you have a deposit, and then you'll go ahead and fill out all the blanks on the seller finance contract. Ideally, you're going to send it to them via DocuSign. That way they could go ahead and just open up their email, click, 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 everything's signed, and you're done. We don't do snail mail in this world. We want to use technology to simplify our life. But that's the second part of the contracts necessary there. You're going to go ahead and get the deed, and you need your seller financing contract because it's an easier way to go ahead and flip properties. But finally, the third main contract you're going to use here, and believe it or not, I rarely, if ever, use these, but you should. It's important, so don't do what I do what I say in this case. Go ahead and get a purchase agreement. Same thing, this is for your cash flips. Same property you just bought for a wholesaler, let's say you took it down for 500 bucks, you just sold it to somebody for 950. You're gonna go ahead and get a deposit from them, and then on your purchase agreement, you're gonna put the description of the property. You sold it for 950, so you got a $100 deposit on it, so you're gonna say purchase price 950, deposit $100, the balance due $850, and you're gonna go ahead and sign that and send that out to them. They're gonna review it, they're gonna sign off, they're gonna send you the balance $850, then you structure the deed and get that ready for filing. Now, like I said, I don't really use purchase agreements in my business model. I do smaller size deals, and on my checkout system, I actually have the verbiage in there on my checkout system, not an actual separate piece of paper. Like I said, you should absolutely use them, so don't do exactly what I do in this scenario, but higher dollar properties, I definitely use purchase agreements just to keep everything on the up and up. But in the simplest form of all this, you need a deed or the ability to control property. You're going to want a seller finance contract because it comes in handy because there's thousands of hungry buyers that want to go ahead and purchase property on financing terms. And then you're going to need the purchase agreement for when you flip these properties when it's all said and done, or if you're just flipping right off the bat. Now, I'm sure you have plenty of questions after all my rambling right here, and that's fine. Go ahead and shoot me a text at 440-567-6040, or you can hit me on Instagram as well if you like hanging out over there as your backup platform at Land Flipping Michael. Any questions could be direct message to me, they could be dropped below, or they could be texted to me. And now that we've gotten through this video, be sure to check all the resources in the description below. As always, I truly appreciate you tuning into this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.